Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss the poem I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I know why the caged bird sings. This is a powerful expression of the voice of black Americans and their longing and struggle for freedom and equality. It has been written by Maya Angelou, who is a powerful feminist writer of Afro Americans. The meaning of this poem is that although cages might keep one from physically reaching their goals, above all, one always has a voice to use their advantage. No matter how much one may be physically restrained, they always have their voice to spread the message of hope and freedom. Now, let us go to the summary of the poem. There are two birds in the poem. The first bird is free, it represents the white American. The second bird is caged. It represents the black American. The free bird leads a life of dignity, grandeur, and infinite possibilities. The caged bird leads a life of fear, longing, and subjugation. The free bird continues to enjoy life and broadens his horizons. The caged bird continues to sink deeper and deeper into the negation of his very existence. But the caged bird still continues to sing of his desire for freedom. Now let us discuss the poem. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. So in the first stanza, the poem begins with a striking image of the free bird leaping on the back of the wind, that is flying with the winds. The wind carries the free bird along, which means that circumstances are favorable for the free bird, and floats down streams till the current ends, which means that the bird then glides smoothly along with the current of the wind and dips his wings in the orange sun rays. This means that the bird is able to fly unrestricted and enjoy the beauty of the sunset. The words downstream and dips invoke images of sunset over a river, and the free bird is able to enjoy everything and dares to claim the sky. So the free bird is bold enough to assert his right over everything. The sky means there are limitless possibilities, limitless resources, and the free bird says that all of it is his. Now we move on to the second stanza. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of range. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The second stanza shows us the completely contrasting condition of the caged bird, but that stalks down the narrow cage. So while the free bird lives in circumstances that are in his favor and claims the entire sky is his own, the caged bird lives in a cage which is narrow and confined, restricted. All that caged bird can do is move up and down in frustration, and his confined area can seldom see through his bars of range. So the caged bird cannot even see and does not have any idea of limitless possibilities that exist for the free bird. He cannot hardly see anything through the bars of range all around his cage. Now, what are these bars of range? The bars of range are the range of racial discrimination imposed by the hatred of the white men. These bars of range are also the sadness, the frustration, and the fear felt by the black American, represented by the caged bird. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. All opportunities are denied to the caged bird. Even his wings are clipped, his feet are tied. He can hardly move in his narrow cage. The only thing he can do now in order to express himself is sing. So he opens his throat to sing. But the question is that what does he sing of? Under these circumstances, what can he sing about? So let us find that in the next stanza. We move on to the third stanza. The caged bird sings with fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings of freedom. The caged bird sings with fearful thrill things are known but longed for still. The caged bird is terribly fearful. What does he fear? He fears further harassment, torture, and even death. The bird still sings his long song, although it is in a voice full of fear. He sings about freedom and opportunity. The songs that he sings can never be confined, even if he himself is confined. The tune of the song is carried to the distant hill, that is, to those who can help the caged bird, to those who can be motivated to free the caged bird. Why? Because the caged bird sings of freedom. We move on to the fourth stanza. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. The free bird thinks of another breeze, so mean. While the free bird enjoyed flying in the breeze and the beauty of the sunset, starts thinking of another breeze. Another breeze is newer or more opportunities here. And the tread winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn. So the free bird is able to explore and experience the trade winds blowing from long distances gently through the shining trees. He is able to move to newer places and experience new things. He has the freedom to find his own food. He can go as far as he likes, and he can enjoy the fat worms waiting for him on a lawn brightly lit up at dawn. So this means that for the white men, everything is made easy and convenient. All the resources of the world are laid open to him. He has no idea, and he has totally oblivious to the suffering of the white men. He enjoys fat worm, which means choices of picking his food, and he names the sky his own. This means that the free bird asserts his claim on the sky. He says that the sky is his and only his. Similarly, the white man says that only he has the right to the resources and opportunities that the world has to offer. We move on to the fifth stanza. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on the nightmare screams. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. But the caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. The contrast to the condition of the free bird and the caged bird's dream are dead, and he stands in his cage on their graves. His dreams are dead and buried, which is the worst things that can happen to anybody. Because if there are no dreams, there is no hope, and the life is nothing to expect torture, except torture. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. So his dreams are dead, and his very existence neglected. The caged bird is no longer even sure of his identity, which is why he becomes nothing else but a shadow. He is not even a real entity, he is a shadow. Still, he makes all the efforts he can in order to scream loudly as he lives a life that is like a nightmare. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Even in his worst condition, the bird opens his throat to sing because it is only his song that can liberate him. We move on to the sixth stanza. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on a distant hill. For the caged bird, sings of freedom. The poet is repeating the third stanza of the poem here again. She does this in order to emphasize no matter how frustrating conditions become, the caged bird will still continue to sing its song of freedom. The song will give its expression to its suffering and its trust for freedom. It will be heard far and wide, and the blacks will continue to struggle against all odds. In due course, they will surely be liberated. Thank you.